to join us at the jury meet, even though you couldn't be with us here. Just wanted to get your take on some of the factors, your overall experience, the nominees. One thing that perhaps strikes you about all of them.
Sorry, what is the question?
I was just asking you that the nomination process that you had today, anything that particularly caught your eye or your attention during this process?
Well, I felt we were trying to find women who have not been in the media glare and yet have done excellent work. So this was our idea of recognizing outstanding work done by ordinary people.
Okay. Ma'am, one more question. I know you have to leave us, so I'll just ask you one more question before you go. Do you think you're starting to see a major change in the last few years, that the number of women who are now feeling empowered to come out and start making a difference to the lives of others in the community, is that something which is really on the upswing?
I think women have made an impact for many years, but it's getting the media's attention far more these days, which is a wonderful thing.
I absolutely agree.
Okay. And you also done a lot of work in empowering women, so any final thoughts you want to leave us with before you go?
I think I personally feel we shouldn't make much difference between the genders, but because women are not getting the attention they ought to, a little push by having these awards is important. And they also act as role models for others to succeed.
All right, ma'am. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you with us. If you have to, I know you have to leave us shortly, so thank you so much, ma'am, for having joined us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Anand, I have a question for you. How was your experience at the jury meet? I heard it was very entertaining as well, and I heard it's very, Manashi said it was very solid, a lot of debate, and it was intelligent conversation. And how was it? How did you go about selecting the nominees?
I think we had a very clear direction, and of course the process itself was entertaining and inspiring, in fact, because all the participants were actively participating to find the best out of the best. So that made it really tough. The nominees were absolutely amazing. Each of them, I mean, we had a tough choice, but we tried to get together to kind of innovate. But coming to the subject of what really we were reaching out for, I think the whole criteria was people who have achieved cross-section of people and innovation. I think, in fact, subsequently we'll find out, but I think science and technology, the categories, science and innovation, entrepreneurship, sports, some of these were the most outstanding categories of people that we came across. And I'm delighted at the categorization itself, which you people obviously made. And the fact that, of course, Vikram and you are there would make it most inspiring to everybody. The idea is to make it an outreach for a cross-section of the people. And this is not only for women, for men and women. Achievement is the hallmark of today.
Just out of curiosity, I wonder if it was a peaceful process or
I
was
know,
there
that's
some
what
big
I'm
fighting?
I heard it was a very enthusiastic discussion, I heard. That's all I was saying.
Enthusiastic, or was it a bit more, was there a big fight, Belinda? Tell us the truth.
At one stage I did threaten to have sort of fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs?
No, we were talking about physical.
Ranjana's almost threatened to punch somebody once in a big fight. Sonam, this is inside information.
It was tough because they were 14-year-old nominated. I mean, can you imagine a 14-year-old innovator? And then we had this very famous scientist. So it was really a kind of range from where we had to choose women. And it is very important to see how Beach became an entrepreneur and started owning hotels. Amazing. I think discovery is really, really something which is very, very inspiring, the way you have found these women. And then it wasn't difficult, but certainly we had some area of disagreements and they managed to, agree at the end.
What is very interesting, ma'am, is you said that there's science and innovation and sports, and you specifically spoke about those categories. And unfortunately, we associate certain categories or certain things with only men who are, so I think it's very exciting that we're awarding women in science and innovation and in sports. I think, you know, we are very talented women. I think we should totally run the world, according to me. And I'm very excited that you actually brought those up. And, you know, with L'Oreal, and we've been trying to actually encourage women in all vocations, you know, and I think that's really cool.
Manshi? We have to be generous as well. We allowed two male judges.
Yeah, I was, who's the second male judge? So I was about to ask you, Mr. Srivastava, there wasn't gender, yeah, there wasn't complete, I mean, there wasn't gender equality on the jury. So as the one man out there, how was that experience?
Well, I can tell you, sitting there, I could understand how women feel in Indian corporate boardrooms.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Manshi?
But
We
I
did
must...
have a discussion
How do you
on
feel,
that.
Manushi?
No, we had a discussion on the boys club and the fact that the boys club exists everywhere, whether it's in India or across the world. So I think he, you know, Dr. Srivastava must have found it very amusing, but he did agree with us. Yeah.
It's very true because suddenly it's a very different environment, so you feel that, but I must tell you, I was mostly hurt.
Well, all right. Well, of course, you had Pranoy for some company, even though long distance. And as Pranoy must have perhaps informed you, we are used to the way it feels in NDTV because NDTV is a vastly, those of us who are men are in a very small...
It's very strange, but it's true in the media. I've noticed it's mostly women.
Yes.
And which is amazing. And I think that's why the media likes me, you know.
Absolutely.
Oh, they're all clapping. Okay, no, it's a fact.
But I think it's also very good.
क्या प्लेटफॉर्म मिलेगा?
तो एक्चुअली ये जो प्लेटफॉर्म है ये रिकग्निशन का प्लेटफॉर्म है तो आप अगर डिजिटल मीडिया पे जब आप ऑनलाइन वोटिंग करते हो तो बहुत लोगों को पता चलता है और अब हम सुबह ही डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि आजकल हम सोचते हैं कि यूथ सारा टाइम फेसबुक पे व्हाट्सएप पे है लेकिन लास्ट 2 years आई हैव नोटिस दैट जब भी ये अवार्ड्स होते हैं तो बहुत इंटरेक्शन और एंगेजमेंट होता है ऑनलाइन एंड लॉट ऑफ पीपल कम फॉरवर्ड टू डिबेट टू वोट यू नो एंड टू एस्टैब्लिश सपोर्ट So it's great for people who win and even for people who are just nominated क्योंकि उनको एक recognition का platform मिलता है और in the past there have been many you know stalwart winners. Chetna Gala Sinha was one of our winners. उन्होंने इंडिया में micro lending पहले establish किया था और उनके अपने words में ये award ने उनको बहुत प्रोत्साहन दिया funds भी मिलते हैं कुछ you know कुछ initiatives को. So I think this is a good platform for them.
Next couple of questions. Okay, gentlemen there, yeah, credible.
Why is it credible? I have to be very honest.
Oops.
Phones on silent, please.
Yeah, I keep saying that. I just switched it back on.
The reason this is credible, number one, is because these nominations have nothing to do with entertainment at this point. Except for the field of art, I think you're talking about our other award functions which are not related to this. Women of Worth we've been doing for this is the 5th year that we've been doing these awards. The nominations are very strict. Number one, I'm sure that they had, like I said, a very enthusiastic discussion about who the nominees will be. The voting is also going to be public, so it will be for everybody to see. And there is credibility in recognizing women who are unrecognized, who are unsung. And this is to do that. This is not to, again, like we just mentioned, it is not to already give more credit to heroes who have already gotten credit for what they've been doing. This is for unsung heroes who are doing so much for society. There's a lot of credibility and a lot of thought and a lot of care with which we showcase these awards. This has nothing to do with me being Sonam Kapoor, L'Oreal brand ambassador, or Manashi being a part of the L'Oreal family. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with nominating and showcasing women of worth. And that is what I stand for. I feel this is what L'Oreal also stands for, and I'm sure this is also what NDTV stands for. So there is a lot of credibility and a lot of thought that has gone behind these awards.
So we've been doing a lot of work in many of these areas.
Take on it. I have a very controversial take on it, so I don't know if I should talk about it right now. I don't know if it's relevant to what we're talking about. All I know is that I do not work with people who do not respect me enough to give me my worth. That has always been my stand. That's why I always work with directors and producers and companies who give me what I deserve and who give me that respect. Otherwise, I always take a stand and I choose not to work with them. But everybody does not have that luxury. So I am not the right person to answer that question, but I definitely believe that there is pay disparity, and it's up to you whether you want to indulge it or not.
All right, thank you all.